tourist mecca on the eastern seaboard of South Africa. Durban City Motsepe Foundation Championship champions. It's the first division champions last season as Sage Stevens gets his first touch. And an opportunity early on to test the Ghanaian goalkeeper, Frederick Asari. Stellenbosch FC playing in the white will attack the goal to the right-hand side of your screen. The all-blue from Durban City will play from right to left during the course of the first half. And a good bit of pressure early on from Stillies. It's the type of football that we expect them to be playing today. Waiting for that movement inside the penalty area. They go medium post to Stellies. They'll have an opportunity from the throw-in on this occasion.
I think they're trying to stamp their authority early stages using the corner kicks, throw-ins as well.
One throw-in here from the Nigerian, Godswill Eninaya. They continue to mount the attack here to Stellenbosch FC. Second throw and another chance for the 27-year-old Nigerian. This is a man who is being relied upon tonight, Wonderboy Mokubu, 29-year-old who played at Tuks and made a name for himself. He scored for Magesi before signing for Sekakuni United. Ball across the face of goal, nearly pops up for Mteleni Mtiani. Durban City able to clear the danger without too much of a flourish. Onside here for Stellenbosch FC. Need a decent ping into the penalty area and clearing behind his goalkeeper. Frederick Asari trying to protect the near post, and the work had to be done behind him by Terence Bushiko.
I think so far, so good defensively. That's a tricky ball to deal with.
Already two corners in the early stages of this encounter. A crucial one. Every single match will be crucial over the weekend. One goal, 1 point, one way or the other. It's going to make all the difference by the end of the season. One feels ball pinged back in once again. Frederick Asari, the Ghanaian, has been waiting patiently for an opportunity to play for Durban City. Darren Keat kept him on the bench for 26 occasions in the Betway Premiership alone, let alone the various cup competitions. Darren Keat announcing that he will retire at the end of the season after that massive success in the Nedbank Cup. And Frederick Asari finally gets his chance to play. It's his second appearance of the season. Played against Sibulele, conceded 2 goals there.
Perseverance, patience as well.
Durban City have barely been outside of their own half so far in this encounter. Little turn back by Lupumbla Sifumba. Nice to see him getting an opportunity, but Stellenbosch FC have come into this match with a lot of enthusiasm. Nice play from the left-hand side. Chimani Butsaka will drive the agenda for Stellenbosch FC from that position. Solid defending from Stellenbosch FC as well. Janino Palace comes to tidy up for Stellies. This is Olisa Ndar. You'll remember him from his days at Orlando Pirates, the Nigerian. First club he played for after arriving from Nigeria, where he played both at Remo Stars and at Aqua United.
One of the most composed, intelligent defenders. When he played at Orlando Pirates, equated him to youngest captain who won the cup or the league for Orlando Pirates, Mabizela.
We'll see tonight he was able to head the ball away from the danger zone. And the loss against his former side, Orlando Pirates, criticised for not quite been able to clear his lines and beaten in the air on that occasion as well. Really, it's going to be fascinating to see when Durban City settle down and they start playing their own sort of match with the Maseko Mokoena on the flanks, Nodadas and Sifumba in the creative midfield, and just how Stellenbosch FC are going to cope with Durban City defensively. Got a -10 goal difference in all competitions, Stellenbosch FC. Durban City with a +3. Beninaya has been a good signing at left side of fullback. Another Nigerian signed from Rivers United in Nigeria. Really has had a good season. Plays for the 23rd time in the starting lineup. He only played in the starting lineup on 3 yellow cards, incidentally, for Stellenbosch FC. And Terence Mashiko with 3 yellow cards as well in the lineup for Durban City. And cards and injuries so important at this stage of the season to stay away from both of those situations that can keep you out of a matchday squad, let alone the starting lineup. There is the top 8 chase then. Durban City above Polokwane City on goal difference on a live log table. They're in 6th position. Stellenbosch FC will stay behind Siwilele on goal difference, even if they get up to 33 points by the conclusion of this match. But 33 points it is on a live log table at the moment. They don't want to open the door, Stellenbosch FC, to Richards Bay FC. However, Stellenbosch FC 10 points above Marumo Gallants, who are in the playoff position, and so no thoughts of being involved in the promotion playoffs.
It's that time of the season where there's a bit of panic from a couple of clubs in terms of potential to be dragged into the relegation zone.
Little charge by Terence Mashiko, can't pick up first ball. Nice turn by Mteteleli Mtiani, and the player that's burst onto the scene and with some great credibility, Devon Titus with his first meaningful touch on the ball. Can't really find Terafatso Mabasa. Cleared by Brooklyn Pochenpool, who will have good memories of Gavin Hunt in his days at Supersport United after signing from Chipper United. He's a good player. In the early stages of this one, already 8 minutes into the first half here, and both sides looking hungry already. Seko into the middle. Header cleared by Molowisani. Nice, patient little dink out towards Terence Mashiko. Brooklyn Pochenpool. Pochenpool stopped in his tracks by Devon Titus, and the play stopped in their tracks as well as good work in the middle of the park by Stellenbosch FC. At the moment, both sides conceding possession to the other. Now, a nice little dart here by Mashiko. Can't find the target though. Clearance is made initially. Now there's another bash towards the goal of Sage Stevens. Looking for every opportunity to test the Cape Town side, and Boka Mokoena has only got 2 league goals this season.
Good movement overall. The cutback, not convincingly clearing their lines. They almost got punished there. Bit hesitant in terms of what they wanted to do. It's a good start.
Pochenpool winning possession back. Nicely done though in the middle of the park. Good ball for Janino Palace. First time ball as well, but nowhere near Chimani Butsaka. 26-year-old Frederick Isare has been very, very patient in waiting for his opportunity to play for City. Came from a Santa Kotoko giant side. Santa Kotoko and Hearts of Oak play a derby almost like Chiefs and Pirates have a derby. Simba and Yanga in Tanzania. Al Ahly and Zamalek in Egypt. I'm sure there's many more.
That's displaying quality of big occasions for Africa.
Titus suddenly finds himself in a much more central role, but Devon Titus wraps him up nicely. Strong play by Janino Palace. Too strong, says referee Moses Keswa.
That's good skill there. Double no dada up against Palace. Always going to be tough, very tricky. Follow with imaginative type of football. Double no dada up against this man, Janino Palace.
Eninaya with a little bit of work to do. Sage Stevens decides to stay in his line, and at the second time of asking, Eninaya gets it away from Jean Lubumba. Incredible. 2 goals against Magesi in a 5-2 loss away in Seshego. 1-1 against Orbit College. He picked up a goal. They picked up a goal in the cup final. Scored 2 against Sibulele just on Tuesday. And the man who's been mostly quiet and copping some criticism as well throughout the course of the season suddenly comes to light. This is his 16th appearance of the campaign, so it's not that he hasn't had game time. This is a man who's had a tremendous season. The captain of Durban City, 25-year-old Supermandla Ntanana. He's come a long way since his days at the University of Pretoria. Second bite of the cherry here with Supermandla.
That's a strong throw. Watch this again, second time. Watch this.
Very determined, very assertive, very aggressive. Here's a play that's gone down from Durban City, and not sure that there was any contact made, and none of the Stellenbosch FC players are looking guilty in any way, but yeah, play had gone down there, and Fanafuti Mkhize, the centre-back.
What a pin.
Oh, there was a bit of pushing and shoving. Trevor Mokoena takes one in the eye.
He's up against strong players. Tabu Sani. Hope it's not too serious.
So Kela Maseko comes to have a little look. Trevor Mokoena surely will be back on his feet sooner rather than later, because they don't want to lose momentum here. Durban City. Another former Tuks man, a couple of former University of Pretoria Tuks players, as we spoke about in Tanana. This is Mokoena. There's the bench of Durban City. So Tanana, part 2. That's a huge throw-in from him, and Sage Stevens decides again not to commit himself to the edge of the penalty area. Elisa Dar tries the clearance. Another attempt at the clearance coming from Wonderboy Makubu, who drops back in defence. Titus trying to relinquish possession from Durban City. Offside flag from Mudisi Moretzi against Stellenbosch FC.
I think we're watching a game where it's not so much focused on just good build-ups. It's more quick, get it into the opponent's half.
Good throw in from Eninaya. Devon Titus, a little flick over the top. Chance for Wonderboy Makubu. Pachumpul already doing a tremendous job in the pocket. Here's Maseko, recovered from that finger in the eye that he had a few moments ago. Mashiko, I beg your pardon. Be careful not to give the ball away. Nanana back in defence, exchanging passes with Manuel Jalai. Very, very impressive as the former Dynamo's right-sided fullback. It's only his 11th appearance in the starting lineup, but I'll tell you what, during the Mukubu Cup that was played about 3 weeks ago, he was sensational for Zimbabwe. Tiani already needing to be a little on the cautious side for that sort of challenge. Jean Lubumba, 24 years old, was playing his football in Botswana with Tafik FC. He played their football in Francistown. He's found a home here at Durban City, and his most recent form has been prolific. Olisa Ntar will clear, assisted by Janino Palace.
So far, even Stevens. Not clear-cut chances created. Good tempo to reach, but no one could outrightly say we are dominating. It's one of those games where I think at this stage, based on the targets that the teams are setting, you converse with Kevin Hunt, said it's a good project. There's some work to be done, but we're targeting to see if we can't be part of the top 8.
Well, they can certainly be an influence. If they're not in the top 8, they can certainly have a say in where the Betway Premiership bottom feeders go as far as the season is concerned, talking about the relegation battle, because Stellenbosch FC after this play Orbit College, who are 3rd from bottom, and then they play Marumo Gallants, who are 2nd from bottom. And victories in both of those matches for Stellenbosch FC, and both of those sides are in trouble. Talking about being in trouble, St. Stephen's inviting a spot of bother.
Ouch.
That was close.
It's very close. He got a little bit too casual after he controlled the ball.
Kevin Hunt wouldn't have been pleased with that situation, but yeah, it happens, I suppose. We've seen some errors from goalkeepers this season so far, but I must say Sage Stevens has been phenomenal. He's played in all 27 matches in the starting lineup for Stellies. Same applies to Devon Titus, albeit playing much more of a supplier role, a creative role, than a goal-scoring role. He's only got 1 goal the entire season in the Betway Premiership, as Titus, and that was against Kaizer Chiefs. A winning goal by 2-1 in Cape Town. Ball needed to be flicked away, and was so as well. And Durban City with another opportunity to burst forward with Sifumba. Just back from Portugal, where he played for Vizela, but he played for Cape Town City prior to that. To the 23-year-old, he's a really competent talent, judged at one stage to be one of the best juniors in the world. Hasn't quite reached that same stage in the senior ranks, albeit that he's only 23 years old. Only plays for the 4th time in the starting lineup for Durban City. In the meantime, captain of Durban City, Sipamandla Ntanana, has taken a knock.
If it's a head injury, it's a major concern. Do you allow him to go on?
Durban City do have Fizili Taba, the 27-year-old former Utongati player, who's on the bench. He's played 19 times this season in the starting lineup, as well as Liam de Kock, who can come on as well. He's played 12 times this season, 11 times, beg your pardon, 7 in the starting lineup. So those are the 2 centre-back options. Tahir Goedeman, much more of a midfielder. Spiwe Maklangu, left winger. Letia Kawapeng, a striker. Magawana, very much of attacking option. And Ronaldo Marman, the former Sekhukhune United midfielder. But yeah, he's feeling that knock on the side of his head here, is Sipamandla. Little grimace on his face as well. Tells you how much contact is made.
Ouch. That's always painful. was focused on the ball.
Wonderboy Makubu involved in that aerial battle. This is Emmanuel Jalai. Another good signing for Durban City. 20 minutes played in Chatsworth. Important points up for grabs. The moment Durban City up to 38 points. And above Polokwane City, who will play against Arrows tomorrow down at Kingswell and Stellenbosch FC up to 33. And drawing level with Siwilele. Both sides have had opportunities today. I'm not sure that July has the same amount of power that Tanana does with when he has the long throw-ins. He also doesn't have that much space with those advertising holdings quite close to the edge of the field out there. On the near side there aren't those advertising boards. Looking for a near post flick on, nothing from there. Mtiani clears initially. Still some work to be done, but tight marking here. Once again, Titus into the fray, doing a spot of defending. Back by Mkize. And that will be a Durban City corner.
It's a good pressure that they're exerting on the visitors.
Fanafuti Mkize waiting at the back post for potential delivery from Samkela Maseko. Again, Stephen stays on his line. The defence being forced into doing the duty. Maybe it wasn't close enough for Maseko. Forward by Butsaka suddenly appears on the right-hand side, and Titus was looking for a bit more of a delivery, much more of a central line to be played by his teammate, who plays mostly on the left. Products of Ajax Cape Town. Oh, Lisandar has been skinned. A shot straight at Sage Stevens. Oh, Lisandar was turned, by the look of things, pretty easily by Jean Lebumba.
That's a good skill. He had one thing in mind: hit the target. That's exactly what he did. It's good for the confidence.
There was talk of a little bit of rain out in Chatsworth, and just before the match got underway, while you guys were out doing your duty with Tato in the middle of the park there, in the build-up, there were some flashes of lightning that went across the back of the grandstand on the far side. This is Elisa Ndar, wearing jersey 99. Only 7th appearance for Stellies this season.
I was a big admirer, still is, of course, when he was playing for Orlando Pirates. Dominated the defense, so calm, good passes, reads the game so well. Was out on a long layoff in terms of injury. Good to see him back.
Already we've had 14 fouls and 14 tackles, beg your pardon, and 5 fouls by Stellenbosch FC. Trying to contain this very fast-moving Durban City team. Mtiani going in a bit of a rearguard action, finds Brendan Malawisani, played at Maritzburg United. Good ball away by Terence Mushiko. Titus not quite making the run to initiate the ball that is played in the middle of the park, and that's a pretty strong challenge from Enyinaya, and the ball bounces once, twice, but it doesn't quite reach its intended target. As Wonderboy Makubu and Frederick Asari, I thought, was a bit fortunate. Clearly in the picture you can see that the rain is falling, and it's not just spitting, it really is bucketing down here in Chatsworth. It's been a warm day in Durban. Chatsworth just to the southwest of Durban. It'll make the pitch a bit more slippy, maybe allow Durban City to continue to play that exciting sort of game and get the ball to slide off the surface a little more brisky. And put the Stellenbosch defence under a bit of pressure. The same can apply down the other end, though. Eninaya all over the back of Lupumulu Sifumba.
It's bucketing down. Makes it difficult for players. The conditions are going to be very tricky.
Down the other side, an opportunity for Durban City to test Sage Stevens, which they weren't able to do, and the 39-year-old goalkeeper will take his time. It's been absolutely phenomenal, not only this season, but in past seasons as well. And Stellenbosch FC with no creative efforts and nothing on target, while Durban City have had 3 opportunities of creation, one of which straight at Sage Stevens from Jean Lubumba. Chimani Butsaka, Janino Palace. Little scramble for Brendan Melawasani, who played with Janino Palace at Maritzburg. Good header away by Danana. Still hunting for possession is Devon Titus. I don't think either of these two sides are foreigners as the weather conditions, or to these weather conditions. So much rain in the Western Cape and in the whole Garden route, and thoughts go out to the citizens of that part of the world. If you've seen some of the footage from there, Brian, even up as far as the rest in the Karoo, but lots of rain in the Karoo, and at a time when they needed the rain most, well, they're getting it in absolute spades at the moment. Pettenberg Bay, nice, and all those places having a bit of a torrid time. Space in front of goal for Durban City. The flag's up for offside.
This rain is changing the approach, because then the conditions being too slippery, you start calculating in terms of the tackles that you're going to be getting involved in, because you're likely to have an injury.
Kalamaseko disappointed that he was called for offside. I think Jean Lubumba was even further offside than the 22-year-old who hails from JDR Stars, Sam Kalamaseko. And Trevor McQueen in the middle of the park too, rather frustrated.
Looks like the pitch is coping so far.
The angle of the wind, angle of the rain, suggests that it's not much breeze around the stadium, and the rain coming straight down onto the pitch. Safety first from Durban City. Good defender is Mkhize.
If there's a relegation battle in Limpopo, the fans will come up, will come and watch in support of their team. There's anticipation, of course, in terms of who's going to win the league. So if there's a Pirates and there's a Chiefs, not that Chiefs are going to win the league, but they'll be in a much more decent position in terms of amongst the top 3 or 4.
For a near post flick on, they don't get it, but there's a mistake in defence, and an opportunity for Stellenbosch FC to pull the trigger. Now suddenly there's a lot of space available for Sifumba. Eninaya is fouled.
It's a big boy, physically imposing. What can he do? What can he offer?
Sifumba turns again, gets himself into trouble, and opportunity through the middle by Chimani Butsaka. That just goes wide.
Encouraging. That's what snipers do. Shot on target, set up nicely, across face of the goal. Perhaps not enough power, Mabasa, but that's how he thrives. This kind of supply for him.
We've had the bulk of the corners of Stellenbosch FC going to the near post this time, pinged away rather easily by Chalai. Tiwani Ndar stays forward. Lubumba knocks it away. Nice little touch inside here to Janino Palace from Eninaya, back to the Nigerian fullback, and he loses out to Samkela Maseko. Rain continues to fall, although it's not falling in the sort of volumes that we saw 10 minutes ago. Still waiting for the opening goal of the round of 28. Flick on from Makubu. Tiwani, Titus, beaten there by Mashiko. Ball returned nicely though to Mtiani. Janino Palace getting involved. Mtiani back to Ndar. Now Tiwani again. This is where it all started a few moments ago. Little ping ball up towards Sekafata Mabasa. And now Durban City looking to flourish on the transition. It's a good ball pinged in here, and the ball across the face of goal. I was watching the assistant referee. I almost thought he was going to flag for a moment, such was his energy. Tobo Tinane. But with 5 minutes to go in the first half, except for stoppage time, Durban City may be providing better opportunities. The man in the picture, Darren Keat, 36-year-old. Man who was in mighty lot of distress when Cape Town City were relegated to the Otebe Foundation Championship. Came and found a home in Durban City. He's done brilliantly. And how many Player of the Match awards did he get during the Carling knockout and through other fixtures throughout the course of the season? The 36-year-old has given a man 10 years, his junior, an opportunity to perhaps play for the rest of the season. Eninaya gets a lecture from referee Moses Keswa, pleading his case, but I don't think it's going to do any good for the Nigerian. 12 fouls tonight so far. 4 minutes in stoppage time away from half-time. Tiani back in defence, Janino Palace back in defence. Samkela Maseko with the delivery. Titus in front of him, Butsaka behind Titus. Pokenpool was standing offside momentarily, but yeah, not the greatest of deliveries.
There's a player struggling on the side of Durban City, I got to tell you now. Doesn't look so good, it's not so comfortable.
Going in the wrong direction for the moment with Brendan Malawisani, but no damage done. Flicked away by Mkize. Back it comes from Eninaya, and one for you, one for me at the moment. Mapasa. Ball didn't quite roll away as much as Mkize would have wanted. And now there's an opportunity. Staying on side, Stevens comes out to rescue in front of Maseko and Jean Lubumba. Brave goalkeeping from a man who is on the brink of turning 40. Have goalkeepers of that age group. Washington Arubi from Marumo Gallants. Terence Mushiko weighing up his options here. Short ball from him, and the return ball isn't of the same quality from his teammate. Lupumlo, pardon, Jean Lubumba.
I think we've got to give credit to the pitch as well, but I'm saying this thing because so far you have a situation where both teams haven't lost the quality of football that they want to display.
Opportunity to drive the agenda from Samkala Maseko. Good defense from Stellenbosch FC for the moment. Clearance made by Aseko Chiwani. Durban City with a foul by Mtanana on Chumani Butaka. Smile on the face of the 24-year-old former Ajax player. Durban Titus fouled by July. I do like it when he pops over onto the left-hand side momentarily, but then you've got both of your wing players over in one pocket. We're in the final minute of regulation time in Chatsworth, and a little spell of rain seems to have dissipated for the moment. Tiwani, keeper didn't get close to it, still an opportunity as Asari recovers.
That's a good catch, that's dominating the area. Asari.
Sifumba has a little look up. Lupumba, Maseko arriving, clearance from Tiwani. We're in first half stoppage time in Chatsworth. 2 minutes added on by referee Moses Keswa. No goals yet. Well, that's a little dummy that finds Sifumba from Mashiro. Pakanpool. Janino Palace will return. Can't allow Durban Titus this much space, but that's a good recovery in defence for Durban City. Eninaya, Mtiani, Titus, and again it's Sifumba who drops back and adds numbers to the defence of the home side. The ball played over the top of the head of Ndar, or from Ndar to Brendan Malawasani. 1 minute remaining in first half stoppage time. Durban City playing the better football at the moment. Just in recovery mode most of the time. Stellenbosch FC. Tanana. Wide to July. Diminutive little fella, but provides the impetus for this attack on goal. Once again, Tiwani drops back, and very effective indeed from the 20-year-old. Here's Titus. Nice cover from Sipamandla. Referee's blown for half-time in Chatsworth. Or Durban City giving Stellenbosch FC a hard time in defending, but Stellenbosch FC have had opportunities as well. They've had more corners than the home side, but the creative efforts have really been phenomenal, and one just hopes at some stage that Stellenbosch FC can find the sort of continuity that we're seeing from Durban City during the course of the first half. And while there might not have been any goals scored, Brian, I think the end-to-end activity was fairly entertaining. Well, the Betway. Match referee Moses Keswa will get us underway for the start of the second half, and just waiting for Sipamandla and Nana to come back onto the field to play a little bit of a late charge out of the dressing room for the captain of Durban City. Not sure what the issue was, but up to full strength again, Durban City in the nick of time. Ball cleared by Aseko Tiwani. No goals in the first half. Both sides will be hoping to establish superiority in the second. Quite an impressive finish to the first half by Durban City. They certainly did have opportunities, and opportunities from the right-hand side will continue to come for Samkela Maseko. Just 22 years old. Very impressive after signing from the now defunct JDR Stars. Titus in a tremendous battle, but nothing giving with Mfanafuti Mkhize. Turned 28 this past Tuesday. Another birthday in the campus, Tabo Nodada, turned 31 a week ago. They look a little bit hungry, but this is the way Stellenbosch FC started in the first half. They looked very hungry. They had players streaming for. Devon Titus was very lively indeed. Chumani Butsaka now. Mtiani just hangs the one foot and then drags the ball through with the other. Mtiani into the middle. Needed this some saving done by the big centre back in Klanana.
It's a good start for Stellish. Klanana, tested ball played in there, desperate clearance by header.
First corner kick of the second half, and 5 corners to 1 in favour of Stellenbosch FC. Still 0-0 on the scoreboard. Little run from Elisa Dar towards the near post. The ball goes a little deeper than that though, and somehow fly hacked away by Durban City. Towards Terence Mashiko. Mokoena quite often back in defence, and just getting a bit of advice maybe from the defenders around him in Klanana and Mkhize, whose clearances might be a little more efficient. As things stand then in the top 8 chase for the 2025-26 season, Durban City ahead of Polokwane City into 6th place at the moment. Stellenbosch FC still in 10th place, albeit at their level with Sibulele on points, just behind on goal difference. But a goal either way will make a massive difference. The Durban City consolidating their position above Polokwane City in 6th place. And for Stellenbosch FC, an opportunity to go above Siwelele into 9th. Lots of work still to be done as there's a little slide down this near side touchline defensively. And it does allow Stellenbosch FC just a little bit of space to find Wonderboy Makubu. Ball sliding off towards Frederick Asari. He'll be hoping to keep his first clean sheet of the season and only his 2nd appearance after conceding 2 away against Siwelele United. A little push on Samkela Maseko. Near side assistant referee Modisa Moretzi getting himself into a position to flag for offside, and had to be very careful. It's not going to be a world record in the long jump.
That's the conditions for you. That's a moment for the assistant.
First opportunity for Durban City in the second half. So it's a good ball around the edge of the wall and very nearly tapped in past Stage Stevens, who once again stays on his line. And Trevor Mokoena has been a massive, massive threat this evening.
Delightful ball. So inviting.
Well, the Bumbo behind him also had ideas, but there was no communication, and I thought actually that Trevor Mokoena took the right option, that he was able to get it on top. He got a really good effort.
Good technique as well. I mean, very tricky one. Sort of some form of in swing. It was Kelly. Almost got it right.
Both sides have only had 1 shot on target the entire 49.5 minutes. Well, no, it's nearly 50 minutes now. Maseko Tiwani, solid on the left-hand side of defence so far. Wonderboy Makubu wondering where the ball had disappeared to. Nice recovery though from Makubu, and an opportunist effort that doesn't test Frederick Asari. 5 minutes into the second half, and both sides continue where they left off in the first half, playing exciting, penetrative and potentially winning football. Difficult conditions though in Chatsworth with that torrential rainfall making slippy underfoot.
So I'm going to let you into a conversation I had with one of the fans, and he says to me, please can you tell the guys to at least hit the target? I said, well, we'll pass on the message because the fans are yearning to have some couple of shots on target.
Waiting for the ball to go out of play somehow, and I'll give you a statistic. In the meeting that they had in September, there were 15 shots at goal, 15. Only 3 on target. Durban City with 2 and Stellenbosch FC with 1 out of 15 creative efforts. It's no different tonight. So the fans are right. I mean, obviously they've done their homework as far as the stats are concerned.
They're yearning for that. They want more.
Another set piece for Stellenbosch FC. Tukafata Mapasa waiting for the delivery. Chumani Butsaka near post. Not able to keep it in play. That's a goal kick, and Butsaka a little bit frustrated, so he's Mapasa. Maybe claiming a little physical contact. No changes made by either Peter Glutler or Gavin Hunt at half-time. There's still plenty of football to come this weekend. Really is going to be an intriguing one, and intriguing as well as interest will fall on Sunday towards the second last round of matches in the first division. That's already been won by Kruger United. So the side from Kanyamazani will play in the Betway Premiership last season. We've already lost one of the giants of South African football, Baroka FC, to the ABC Motsepe League. But still plenty to be decided. If you look at the Betway Premiership, is it Sundowns or Pirates? Who's going to finish in which order as far as the top 80 is concerned? And whom out of Chipper United, Orbit, Maruma and Magesi will be relegated? Do we leave out TX Galaxy? Is it too premature with 9 points remaining? Rockets hanging on the edge of participating in the wrong end of the table.
The Rocket just participated in the Nedbank Cup final.
They did too. And that's a little bit naughty from Tiani.
It is. The conditions are not helping either. But the demand will always be the same. Hit the target, test the keeper, give us a goal. I mean, the stand on this side has got a good crowd.
The referee wants Tiani into his office while he deals with the stricken Durban City player, and the well-being of the players is the first port of call as far as the referee's duty is concerned. Once there's a stoppage like this, Devin Titus with a wry smile on his face. Are we going to see a booking then to Mteteleli? So the referee directing traffic. The medical staff from Durban City are out there. Peter Glutler in the meantime considering any sort of changes that can come in the midfield. Here's Tahir Khudaman, there's Hashim Domingo, who must be a go-to player. Ronaldo Marman, Saziza Magawana. They have options on the bench for Pizzo Glutler. And a red card. Teteleli Mtiani. Straight red card from the referee Moses Keswa. Little nibbling challenges. And then he stood on his opponent as he went down. Teteleli Mtiani goes with only 10 minutes having been played in the second half. And Stellenbosch FC are down to 10. Was it harsh? Is it a fair decision? Gavin Hunt pacing. They have to reorganize the midfield, although there is Janino Palace there who can tidy things up a little bit. But do they take off either one of Makubu and Mapasa and consolidate in that midfield? Looks pretty shocked.
I don't think the player should be shocked. He probably knows what he did was not right. The referee was justified to give him a red. Such a fine talent, and I think a rush of blood to the head committed something that was pretty silly. Tiani.
He's been a regular in the Stellenbosch FC starting lineup. His 25th match out of 28 this season, all in the starting lineup, so has been crucial in that midfield, and yes. I can understand the concern from Stellenbosch FC. Ready to see what the thoughts are going to be on the bench of Stellies. Don't forget they are missing their left-sided fullback Mdaka because of suspension. Free kick then for Durban City. Second set piece they've had in the second half so far, contained by Stellies. Durban City have 35 minutes to play against a 10-player outfit, and Stellenbosch FC are going to bring on Langalichle Pili, who's a 21-year-old, but much more of a left winger. Mashiko, a left-sided fullback, trying to make some progress for Durban City. Just not able to get that final ball into the right area are the Durban City team.
The Durban City themselves are going to introduce Makawan. Saziso Makawan.
Two goals for Magawana this season so far, the 27-year-old midfielder. He really is an attacking force, and maybe being brought on at the right time by Pizzo Tlatla. Don't forget, Tetelele Mtiani has been sent off by referee Moses Keswa for foul play. Inside by Samkela Maseko, and Dar jumps all over it. Tiwani will flick it up towards Mabasa. Now Makubu in a bit of space here. Desperate bit of defence from Mklanana. They've pushed Makubu wide. Looks for a little bit of support in Yinaya. There's the Nigerian again. Appeal from Durban City that Yinaya had gone out of play. Kize forceful in defence. Titus, not a bad ball in, and a bit of a collision in there as well, because is that Planana that's gone down with a head injury? Yes, not the first time. He went down in the first half with a knock to the side of his head as well, which needed a nice pack. And now he's down again. He's a warrior, he's in Planana.
And then there's a sort of clash of heads there, but can't avoid that. Both players keep their eyes on the ball. Looks like there's a late challenge as well. Looks a little bit dizzy, but he has got to recover. As Magawana ready to come back.
Well, first of all, we have a change for Stellenbosch FC, who are going to bring Langalichle Pili, and off goes Wonderboy Makubu. We hypothesized whether one of the strikers would be relieved of his duties. In the meantime, on the other side, Zizo Magawana has come on, and I think he's on for Sifumba. There's the change for Stellenbosch FC. First change is coming then a minute before the hour mark. Really, with the sending off of Tetelele Mtiani, does open the door for Durban City, but sometimes teams with only 10 players consolidate, and that can be a difficult prospect for a side with a full objective, and maybe the side with the full complement of players gets a little bit over anxious in trying to overwhelm the side with a one less player. Don't forget the Sibonise and Win competition. Still very much in activity as far as the Betway Premiership is concerned.
The innovation. Looks like you're at the nightclub. Look at that, those lights. I mean, look
Gentlemen,
at that.
in your picture, Sandile Koza is our Sibonise and Win winner tonight. So congratulations to Sandile Koza. Lighting it up with his very fanciful Makarapa. Doesn't appear to be a Betway Premiership member, so 10,000 bucks, but still, you know, 10,000 bucks on a Friday night, nothing to be sneezed at.
Well, there's no load shedding where he is.
Certainly not in his camp.
No.
Durban City have got to be careful not to be too cautious. Here's a chance for Langalikle. Pili forces a save out of Asari. That's his first real contribution as far as a save is concerned by the Ghanaian.
It's about time someone takes this long-range shot. The conditions are inviting. That was goal-bound. Good goalkeeping in the end.
Fresh pair of legs making all the difference to get away from his marker. Not taking any chances, to go with both hands in the save. Strong challenge by Tiwani. Interesting that both coaches bring it on their number 11 players, Magawana and Langalikle Pili for Durban City and Gavin Hunt respectively. Yeah, and Tiwani takes the walk. Danana. Mkize. On Terence Mushiko. Closed down rapidly by Devin Titus. So just the one lone striker now in Sekafatsa Mapasa. Lots of work to be done to get the ball to him. Would Stellenbosch FC be satisfied with leaving Chatsworth with a single point and back-to-back goalless draws against Durban City? I'm sure coming into this encounter they would have wanted more. There's still plenty of time for Durban City to cause problems here. Mashiko trying to get away from Janino Palace. Stop and turn from Magawana. Caught in possession. Enyinaya for Stellenbosch FC. Titus was the target man, but Durban City have possession at the moment, and oh, that's a bit of a late challenge. Enyinaya could be in problems. No, it's Malawisani. Yellow card to the former Maritzburg man. Lots of work defensively for Stellenbosch FC to still contain Durban City throughout the next 25 minutes. Malosani and Ndar so important in the middle. Tiwani and Enyinaya on the flanks. And don't forget about goalkeeper Sage Stevens. Match referee having a look at the wall and looking over his shoulder to prevent them from having any sort of encroachment. Magawana immediately taking over the role of a set-piece taker. There's a lot of space available for Mtanana, and I'm not sure that he knew he had so much time and space, because the ball seemed to almost come off his right shoulder more than the head.
It's not even about time for me. It's more the technique, the anticipation. I mean, it's a delightful ball. More of a killer to it. All you need to do is just the glancing header. Missed opportunity, good delivery for him.
Clearance from Mkize. Janino Palace. Well, it wasn't called as a foul by the referee, but Stellenbosch FC for the moment going in reverse gear with Langalikle Pili. Clearance by Sage Stevens. Ball kept in play very nicely as well. Mabasa. Well, that's wasteful from Devin Titus. Pili and July going through a bit of a battle, but eventually Mklanana will make the clearance. Well, that is a big push by Jean Lubumba on the back of Olisa Ndar. Doesn't get away with it. The 20 minutes played in the second half. Still no goals. Durban City and Stellenbosch FC, who are down to 10. Ball aimed towards Devin Titus. Just a little overhit. Mashiko. Magawana makes a little cut on the inside. Ball's been played just behind the referee, and that's a nice pickup in the middle of the park by Chimani Butsaka, who stopped going to the midfield with the introduction of Pili on the left-hand side. Here is Chimani. Tiwani over the head of Mabasa, and once again pretty regulation stuff for Mfanafuti. Durban City making most of the play at the moment. Stellenbosch FC a containment role currently. But if it stays this way up until the 80th minute, maybe a little bit further than that, you could expect Stellenbosch FC to change the tactics and come out and start playing attacking football. At the moment they've been beaten to the ball on the odd occasion. Eni Naya with a strong challenge, keeps his footing this time. That'll be a worry for Stellenbosch FC and Gavin Hunt. Devin Towns has such an integral role he's got to play, and Gavin Hunt not happy. Incredible, in his 1039th match as coach, 428 wins, and if he draws tonight it'll be his 300th career draw, 311 losses, 1,325 goals as coach, scored, 1,080 conceded. It's got big numbers, hasn't he?
Still going. What a coach. What an impact he's had on so many players. You have conversations with all of them. They're singing praises. Not nonsense, of course.
Nope. Started his coaching with 7 Stars down in the Western Cape, Hellenic Black Leopards, as he travelled the length of the country to coach in Toyondo. Swallows for about 5 seasons. Supersport United, he was massively successful with back-to-back-to-back league victories. Went to Bidvest Wits for a whole bunch of time. Kaizer Chiefs for 1 season. Chipper United as well. Back to Supersport United for 4 seasons. And Durban City and Stellenbosch in this campaign. Absolutely unbelievable. Some people might not like his coaching style. Some people say it's a bit dated, some people say it's a bit predictable. However, you look at his numbers and the trophies that he's won, not only the league titles that he's won, the Supersport United and Bidvest Wits. He's won the Absa Cup, the Nedbank Cup, the Telkom Knockout, the MTN 8.
Yeah, it's a debatable statement to say, well, I understand they might not like his style. His style has worked in terms of success, that you can, it's tangible success. Might not be the most attractive, but a lot of times they play attractive football.
The referee just making sure that there's no disruption in the traffic on the edge of that penalty area. Magawana with the ball into the middle once again, and Klanana ducks underneath it. Questioned his technique from a header a bit earlier on, questioned it from there as well. Durban City and Stellenbosch FC still looking for the opening goal of this encounter. There's only been 8 goal attempts in total, majority of which have fallen to Durban City. Fans continue to show a positive approach to Durban City. Don't forget, Durban City haven't won a Betway Premiership encounter in 5 matches. Well, they did win the Nedbank Cup, which is a mighty, mighty achievement. And if you remember, when Magesi were promoted 2 seasons ago from the Motepe Foundation Championship, and opportunity here in front of goal, but nice defending from Molowisani against Trevor Mokwena, who's lurking behind Sage Stevens as if he wants to cause trouble for the veteran goalkeeper. But remember Magesi bursting onto the scene last season from promotion from the NFD, and promptly went and won all the matches away from home in the Carling knockout. Beat Mamelodi Sundowns, won the final, and Durban City have done almost the same thing with the Cup of Dreams and Nedbank Cup. It's phenomenal.
Well, it's the kind of success that worthy of celebrating.
Oh, shot there from Devon Titus, and if he was sitting on this near side, you might have thought with the ball bulging the back of the net that had gone in. However, it was from the ricochet. Titus has only scored once in the Premier League this season.
I think for me it's an encouraging thing to see these long-range shots, looking at the conditions, and I'll tell you the kind of shot that frustrates keepers is the one that just bounces in front of you.
A re-look at the top 8 chase. Amazulu 5 points behind Kaizer Chiefs. Sekhukhune United only 1 point behind Usutu. Then Durban City above Polokwane City with a point tonight. Polokwane City have played their 28th match, because that would have been the final match of the season against Mamelodi Sundowns. They lost that by 3-0. So they only got 2 more matches to play. And then the chase down the table to Arrows and maybe Sibulele, maybe an outside chance as things stand here for Stellenbosch FC. And 7 points out of the last 3 matches would give Stellenbosch FC 39 points. Would it be enough with the Arrows? The 3 matches to play on 36 might just be a bridge too far for Gavin Hunt. But there is still next season as Mabasa tries to find some space in the middle of the park. Good work done by Brooklyn Pockenpool. Durban City really looking to take further advantage of the extra player. Pockenpool back in defence. Elisa Ndar made a good challenge too. This is Pili. Constructive play here by Stellenbosch FC. Tiwani leaves the ball behind. Kalamaseko turns away from any sort of danger. Nice pickup from Jean Lubumba. He's been kept quiet tonight, for the moment anyway. Tiwani, it's a lovely ball. This is Chumani Butsaka. A bit of a consolidation for Walawisani. Now Tiwani again. And Tiwani, ball's curling away from Asari all the time, but there's absolutely nobody out wide for Stellenbosch FC, and ball too far away from Devon Titus.
You know that kind of cross where you're saying, I'm going to play it my way, and you don't have the kind of support that you need? That's exactly what happened there.
Kalamaseko, just the one change made by Pitso Cloudland. Ball drops just in front of Sage Stevens, just in front of Trevor Mokwena as well.
But a lot of times we tend to have demands to say we can't have a 0-0. Doesn't become acceptable. We need a goal. It's a game that needs a goal, but in order to get that, there needs to be some sense of agency. We so far just played on one tempo.
Pili, the glancing header from Mapasa goes wide. It's a nice idea, it's a good ball in from the substitute. 5 goals in the Premier League from Cheklovata Mabasa, who has been on target in the last couple of matches. Scored a goal against Mamelodi Sundowns, and before that scored a brace against Chippa down in the Winelands. We spoke about the last couple of matches, and Pirates and Amazulu waiting for Durban City. Orbiton Marumo for Stellenbosch FC. One team playing against teams that are vying for the top of the table positions, and one playing against sides that are trying to avert the danger of relegation. Devon Titus will never make up the ground. We've had half an hour's play in the second half in Chatsworth. Still Durban City 0, Stellenbosch FC 0. Stellenbosch FC have been playing for 20 minutes with only 10 men. Change for Durban City. We're going to bring on former Sekhukhune United player Ronaldo Marman. He's going to come on in the place of Samkela Maseko. Marman played at Orlando Pirates and Chipper United. Was released by Sekhukhune United, picked up by Durban City. Hasn't had much game time. This is only his 8th appearance of the season and 5th from the subs bench for a very attacking player. I'm quite surprised we haven't seen Hashim Domingo tonight. He's a forceful player, is Domingo. Remember him from Sundowns before he went to Roger Casablanca. Came back after 1 season in the north of Africa and joined Cape Town City. And then City were relegated. Still have a chance to bounce back though, because Cape Town City, one of the 4 sides in the Motsepe Foundation Championship that are playing for a place in the promotion playoffs. Kruger United already having clinched the title. Catholic Stars, Hungry Lions, Cape Town City and Milford FC are the challengers for that 2 places in the promotion playoffs. Here's Lubumba, who's got a bit of space to pull the trigger. Lubumba, and he runs into Devon Titus, who is back doing a spell of defending, and that's good work by Titus. Followed by Magawana. Nice recovery as well from the same player. Magawana again, 3rd touch in the move. Almost thought he would have pulled on to the inside of the defender, but Eddie Naya hasn't covered. That's good work again by the Nigerian. He's spoken highly of Eddie Naya tonight. This is good pressure from Durban City, just not able to get the final touch. Frustration for Pizzo. It's his 40th match in charge of a team. Yes, he coached with Richards Bay FC and coached there with the coach Manu Sakis. 2nd spell at Durban City, 15th match in charge, and 5 victories, 5 draws and 4 losses in his 2nd spell. He has won the Nedbank Cup, and I think that goes massively in his favour. Any coach, when you can add that to your CV, will be very, very pleased indeed. Titus looking for possession. Match referee heeds to the call of the far side assistant referee Thabo Tinani, who's flagging in earnest for the challenge on the Durban City player. Fans have enjoyed an evening out. It's pretty dry on the near side grandstand. Huge big roof, offering some protection from the elements. And so far they've seen some entertaining football from Durban City, maybe not quite decisive enough. Not yet anyway. There's a man in the Pirates jersey. We'll be waiting in earnest to see what happens over the weekend. In the meantime, July turn inside from Marman doesn't bring any dividends for Durban City. In the meantime, on the counter-attack, it's Pili looking to add to the 7 goals he scored already this season. Trevor Mokwena has played his final role tonight. His place will be taken by Letsia Koapeng, himself a former Stellenbosch FC player, and Nodata is also going to make way. And yeah, later rather than sooner, I suppose, before Hashim Domingo. But Domingo's on, and so for that matter is Letsia Koapeng. They've sent on attacking players later on here at Durban City, and maybe it's the right time to do that with 10 minutes remaining in stoppage time. Attacking options all around for Durban City. They've kept Jean Lubumba. They've sent on Koapeng, Domingo, Marman and Magawana. And there are opportunities. The competition for Sibonisa and Win has been decided already, but I do like the way that Durban City supporters have embraced the competition. It is brought to you by Betway. And there's the top half of the table. Durban City on goal difference above Polokwane City, and Polokwane City Arrows takes on a different context then tomorrow, with those two teams battling to keep their place in the top 8. That's tomorrow evening at King Goodwill Zwelithini Stadium, just a little bit further to the southwest to where we are at the moment. And if you're on the highway, then just one more turn off later. Mabasa. This is Langeliklepili. Pocket pulls them nicely. Tonino Palace has been denied possession by Jean Lupumba. That's a nice header away by Malabusani. Nice first touch from Mabasa. Devon Titus running onto it beautifully in the middle of the park. Tonino Palace scored against Sekakuli United in a 3-1 victory most recently. Asare with a good intervention. Elisa Ndar. And suddenly Stellenbosch FC is starting to grow in belief a little bit and pushing towards the halfway line. They have to be cautious though, because Durban City have introduced a couple of very pacey players. They won't want to give it away in the dying seconds, as they did most recently against Polokwane City with that Kembala goal that really gave Gavin Hunt a bit of a headache. But we're going to have the introduction of Ashley Cupido, who turned 25 this past Tuesday. Big celebration down in Cape Town. Another former Ajax Cape Town player. He's Cape Town Spurs, and also relegated to the ABC Motsepe League. Cupido, we hear, is going to come out. There's confirmation for Tekavasa Mabasa, who's played for 83 minutes and has had a couple of nice touches, but no success today for the 29-year-old former, 30-year-old former Pirates striker. Ashley Cupido has not scored a goal so far this season, and he's coming on for the 18th time as a sub. Started 5 times this season already, so that's his 23rd appearance of the season. 25-year-old will be hoping that he can get on his foot on the ball for a decisive touch in the next 6.5 minutes, because that's all that remains in regulation time. Sorry to Mashiko. This is Pokanpool. It's a little bit in a hurry to get the ball away. Tiwani's been a pillar of strength out wide on the left-hand side, and now an opportunity for Chimani Butsaka back on the left. Beeley's overcooked the first touch.
He's frustrated. On the other side, the coach says, switch on, keep thinking, be alert.
Animation from both coaches. In the meantime, work to be done at the back. A ball headed over towards Ronaldo Marman. Stellenbosch FC will have the throw in. Gavin Hunt's been getting involved in a little bit of gamesmanship and a bit of naughtiness maybe, as he tries to contain Sasiso Magawana. Look at the amount of completed passes. Durban City absolutely dominant. The style of football they play. Cupido looking for a first touch. All over the back of Magawana. The referee with a bit of discipline on Ashley Cupido, no more than just a word in his ear. 5 minutes of stoppage time away from second half stoppage time in Chatsworth. Durban City playing for the majority of the second half with an advantage of an extra man after the sending off of Tetelele Mtiani, who has got a 2-match suspension, and therefore that's the end of the season for Mtiani. can't believe for a moment that Durban City would settle at this point in time for a single point as the ball skids away from Ronaldo Marman. Stellenbosch FC might very well consolidate, but they have had opportunities to attack, and look at that shot when Langalekle Aprilia just arrived on the pitch. 21-year-old testing Frederick Asari. Are we going to have a deciding goal later on in this one? Gianni with a touch. Dar gets a touch as well. Ball pops out to Hashim Domingo, can't hold on to it, and Gianni is away. Cupido has to get on his bicycle quickly. And Kize gets there first.
I've got to create a moment of brilliance in a game like this where there's not too many clear-cut chances. Look at Stellis, that's what they need to start doing.
Fans continue with their editions of the club songs. It has been a wonderful atmosphere, even though the fans have been rather sparse here with the threat of rain. And we have had the rain, but dissipated quite some time ago. Marman has to go all the way back to Mtsanana. It's a joyful scene. Jerseys from Siwilele, from Amazulu, from Amakosi.
United States of Africa. Fans very vocal, out to support their favorite teams.
Tiwani's clearance. July beaten to the ball. Pokenpool rescues his fullback. We heard that 4 minutes is going to be added on to the end of this one, so another 6 minutes to play in Chatsworth. July threads the ball through to Marman, gets the ball into the middle. Missed opportunity for Durban City at the death. Sent on to do a job. Let's see Koapeng can't add to the 2 goals he scored so far this season. Great ball.
You would bet on him to come up with something, and it just didn't work out for him. Delightful ball just played in between the defenders and the goalkeeper. A disappointment. Sometimes you need just half a moment to just make a difference.
But holding on to possession, Letia Koapeng gets the ball away from Chimani Butsaka. Looking forward now. All the while, Durban City. The defence have to be strong from Stellenbosch FC. Hashim Domingo again. It should be a take for Stevens. He makes it look so easy as we enter the final minute of regulation time in Chatsworth. Sibonese and win victor tonight, and the prize money that he takes away from the Chatsworth Stadium. Perhaps even greater value to his personal pocket than the 3 points would be to either Durban City or Stellenbosch FC, although prize money in the Betway Premiership is an important factor. Goal kick to Frederick Asari.
Meanwhile, 4 minutes is going to be added. 4 minutes, it's a lot to score a goal, maybe 1 or 2.
What a wonderful atmosphere. Yeah, players in blue bursting their way to the edge of that Stellenbosch FC penalty area. Jalai, Mtsanana. Nice work by Ronaldo Marman to come to the rescue of his captain. Fanafuti and Kize. Good header from Tiwani. Titus had a touch on the ball to Enyinaya. Has Cupido got the pace? He might very well have, but it's a much better turn from the captain of Durban City. Continue pushing forward. Elisa Nda gets the better of Domingo. He's had a better game tonight as the Nigerian in the centre of defence.
It's very reliable. You know, it might not look like the quickest of defenders, but trust me, I've seen the best of him. Long layoff, good to see him back.
Now one feels that Pitso Tata, if this match does end in a stalemate, he will not be a happy man. That'll be 6 matches in a row without a victory. Only 2 matches remaining against very, very tough opposition. Pirates next for Durban City. Is there a late chance here? Good header away by Malawisani. Stevens has been battered around a little bit, and the referee finally blows the whistle. Sage Stevens been knocked about a bit, and Titus managed to clear the ball, and Sage Stevens trying to save on the second attempt here.
It's a definite foul.
Pokenpool a little bit heavy, and then it's a fabulous save on the ground off Lubumba, who's been in, as we said, tremendous form with 6 goals in the last 4 matches, and coach Gavin Hunt's not impressed with the pressure that Sage Stevens has been put under unfairly. Only 1 real save he's made tonight. Ball distribution not his best forte, but only 90 seconds now separating Durban City with Stellenbosch FC, and one would feel that, I suppose in some respects, playing away from home in consecutive goalless draws, that Gavin Hunt might be the more positive from both sides, as far as his reactions with Tato Sabia at the end of 90 at Durban City. Yes, the victory in the Nedbank Cup was massive, but 6 matches without any victories and 3 losses and 3 draws in the Betway Premiership, and opening the door for sides below them. Not going to be too happy for Pitso Tata. Marman was waiting. Tiwani makes the clearance, and we're now just 45 seconds away from full time in Chatsworth. It's been a total affair ever since the sending off of Mteteleli Mtiani. Can't quite breathe a sigh of relief yet, Gavin Hunt. 2 matches remaining, 6 points. Is this one over though? Clock ticks away, 20 seconds remaining. Long throw in from Sipamandla Ntlhanana. Oh, there was a little flick on there in that penalty area from Mfanafuti Mkize. And somehow Stellenbosch FC cleared. They get the throw in too, Will Stellies. And that might just be enough to claim a point, playing the entire second half, or 35 minutes of the second half with 10 players. Darren Keat trying to direct traffic from the touchline. No way through for Cupido. Still no final whistle from the referee. And Shalai, Mfanafuti and Kize. Is there one final opportunity? Keeper's got to react quickly here, and does, in front of Ronaldo Marman. The danger's not over yet. It might very well be with Enyinaya's header. Will they keep it in play? Sage Stevens with a role to play here. And the referee says that that is going to be a free kick for Stellenbosch FC. Oh, and there's a bit of argy-bargy here. Jean Lubumba and Sage Stevens unhappy. Sage Stevens been shepherded away by Letia Kouapeng. There's a bit of anger from the veteran goalkeeper, and Ntlhanana comes in, and Sage Stevens claims that he's been stomped upon, and now Ntlhanana himself comes in. A yellow card to Sage Stevens. And even his own players asking him to calm down a fraction. It's tough in these sort of positions and situations, and Sage Stevens will miss the next encounter.
Has he got a case? Let's have a look at this, because he claims it might have been stumped on. Look at this. I think, yes, on the arm, that's so.
Certainly felt it. Did Stevens.
And this is the angle. Watch this. That's painful.
At that stage, I suppose it's still a one-on-one contest between the Congolese striker and the veteran Sage Stevens. In front of